So I asked the store clerk, what's going on out here? What happened? She was like, somebody overdosed on something. They started bleeding out of their nose and they still had aluminum foil in their hand. What's good, YouTube? You see the thumbnail and the title. Let's get right into it, baby. So, I'm gonna tell y'all a story about a time that a guy overdosed on my way to go get drugs. And how did it affect my day? So man, okay, so I was working third shift around this time, right? And I had, I was asleep. I woke up a little bit early because sometimes I would do this and I would to wake up and go buy some drugs from a person I knew. And they lived about 30 minutes in another town than where I was at. So this particular day I woke up, had a text on my phone of the person saying, yo, I got some shit on deck. If you want to come through, I said, bet, I'll be there in 30, 45 minutes. So I jump up, throw my clothes on, I head out the door. I'm on my way to the gas station because I need to get some gas before I head up there. And when I pull up to the gas station, there's an ambulance and 3 or 4 cop cars sitting there. And I'm thinking, what the fuck going on? I figured, I don't know, somebody probably had a seizure or something. You know how stuff happens. So I'm looking over there and I don't really see nothing. I think they had done got the person and put them in the ambulance or whatever. So I think I got there like 10 minutes after everything went down. So I walk inside to pay for my gas, and I think I buy an energy drink or something like that. And so I asked the store clerk, what's going on out here? What happened? She was like, somebody overdosed on something. They started bleeding out of their nose and they still had aluminum foil in their hand. So I'm thinking, damn, they just overdosed on fentanyl. Because I had been smoking fentanyl for a while at this point. So I'm like, I know what happened. They just overdosed on fentanyl. Happens all the time. Especially, oh yeah, and for those of you that are wondering where this happened at, this was in Cleveland, Tennessee on Paul Huff Parkway at the Eagle Mart, right across the street from Target. For those of y'all that are familiar with Cleveland, Tennessee, this is exactly where this happened at. So where was I at? Oh yeah, he still had the aluminum foil in his hand, had OD'd. The lady was telling me that he started bleeding and all that. I'm thinking, damn, he just OD'd on fentanyl. So the message I want people to get out of this video is how much a drug can have a hold of you. Now, what would you have logically thought to yourself after seeing that? Now, I don't know if this guy died or not. Word on the street, I don't even know his name or who he was, but word on the street is he died. It killed him. That's just what I heard. I don't know how true it is. But back to the question, what would you guys logically have thought? People that ain't a drug addict, and if you've been a drug addict or you are a drug addict or you're struggling with drugs, you know what I'm talking about. But for the people out there just interested in the topic of drug addiction that don't really know, have firsthand personal experience, what would you have thought? You would think, damn, I'm not going to get drugs. I'm turning my ass around and going back home. Well, a drug addict's mindset, my mindset, I thought to myself, sucks for him. I got my gas, I jumped in my truck, I drove all the way to Athens, I bought my drugs, and I did my drugs. After seeing that, on my way, seeing somebody overdosed. I was on my way to go get the drugs, and somebody overdosed on my way. And I still went to get high, and I knew what he overdosed on. Now, at this point, I don't know if I had overdosed yet or not. I think I have. I don't really remember the time frame of it, but I just wanted to share that little story because that's kind of crazy when you think about it. It's crazy when I think back on it because you go and continue to go get high after you've seen somebody just die, basically, and you don't care. That's how powerful drug addiction is. For the addicts on my channel that have beat it, going through it, you know what I'm talking about. That's why drug addiction is such a dangerous thing. Also, specifically fentanyl. Drug addiction is a serious condition, mindset, whatever you want to call it. I personally think it's a mindset. I don't too much think it's a disease. which is another video topic that I need to get into. I need to make a video about that, about whether or not I think it's a disease. I don't, but I want to break it down in a whole video as to why I don't. So guys, listen, if you're struggling with drugs, that guy that I saw at the gas station, that could have been any one of us. You know, you're not better than the next man, and you always think that it can't happen to you until it does. And like I said, word on the street is he died. He's no longer on this planet because he wanted to smoke fentanyl off of aluminum foil. And I've been there, many of you have, and you know what it's like. I know what it's like for sure. Like I said, for those of you that don't know, I've overdosed 6 times. I shouldn't even be here making this video right now, but I am. I'm gonna throw in another little story because these are all warning signs. When you see stuff like that, it's a warning sign to quit. I'm gonna throw in another little story just to lengthen up the video a little bit that I went through. That was another warning sign. Nobody died or nothing, but it just kind of is a testimony to let you know that I had warning signs before I went and messed my life up. And I do not have anybody to blame but myself. But I used to smoke fentanyl and get high, and I would nod out behind the wheel all the time. It's a wonder I didn't kill somebody, kill myself, or both. And there was a couple occasions, and I'm just gonna talk about one of them, where I couldn't keep my vehicle in between the lines on the interstate, and I was swerving over the line, doing all this crazy shit, and somebody had seen me and called the police on me. So by the time I had made it to where I was going and I got off the exit, a cop had spotted me, that they got the call about my truck. And I drive a very unique truck. So they was able to spot me pretty easy, pulled me over. Now I'm on my way to go to a party with my girlfriend, to a birthday party. So I'm dressed up to the T. I'm dressed up to the T. Haircut slick. I look like $1 million, I'm not gonna lie. White button-down dress, pants, dress shoes, you know, all that good stuff. So I think that might have helped me out, I'm not sure, but when I got pulled over, they told me, look man, we got a call about you swerving and stuff. So, and it was raining a little bit, so I was like, yeah man, you know, I need to get my windshield wipers fixed. My windshield wipers ain't working good, so I couldn't see that good. And he said, well, you know, go ahead and step out. I want you to do a sobriety test. I'm like, okay. And when I step out, this is why I think the way I looked helped me, because the cop mentioned it. He said, man, you dressed up nice, ain't you? I was like, yeah, you know, me and my girl about to go to a birthday party. I was just going to her house to meet up with her. He's like, all right. So I do the sobriety test, and the cop gives me a break. He gives me a break because I think he knows that there's something off with me. You know, it's really hard to hide being high on fentanyl, guys. So he's like, look, man, I'm not gonna take you to jail. But what I want you to do is park your truck, call your girlfriend to come and get you. I don't wanna see you out driving again tonight. I said, yes, sir, you got it. So I park my truck, call my girl, she comes to get me. We go to the birthday party, have a fantastic night, and she drives me home that night when we get done. And then she comes back to get me the morning to go get my truck, and that was the end of it. But those were 2 warning signs that I completely disregarded and kept using drugs. But the message I want you to get out of this story is how wrapped up you can get in drug addiction, to where you really gotta wanna quit for yourself. Nothing's gonna like make you quit. You know, if stuff like that don't make you quit, nothing will. You gotta get it in your head that you don't want to do this shit anymore. But you know, 2 stories for the price of 1. You already know what it is. I'm just a guy that decided to get on YouTube and share his crazy life with the world. And as always, like, comment, subscribe. And as always, peace out.